Well, welcome everybody back to the Flying Doghouse channel. It's been a minute. Today we're going to take a look at the brand new Aeroplane Heaven B-25 Mitchell or Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is probably one of the most iconic twin engine bombers of World War II. And Airplane Heaven has brought that into the sim for us with a ton of detail and some character, and I guess you could call it twin radial charm. Let's dive in and take a peek. Controller here, and we're going to have a walk around the aircraft. By the way, we are at RAF Debden, which is an airfield that we built here at Two Dogs Designs in the Flying Doghouse. Got a couple of sim update for tweaks we need to make, but it is available for free over on Flightsim.to for your download pleasure. The level of detail up close is just very, very well done. There are a couple of oddities to be expected. However, love and attention to detail on this one. It looks terrific. Interesting bit of a yellow paint reflection going on here. That's interesting. However, I am nitpicking. Much of the bad rap that Airplane Heaven has gotten in the past from other YouTube folks, I don't think is deserved. Some of these aircraft are just outstanding and fun to fly. So, I'll leave my opinion to mine, and others are certainly entitled to theirs. But doesn't she look great? Yeah, we'll walk under the wing here. Well, the textures are sharp. They're the wear and tear looks reasonably believable, right? Yeah, so if you love vintage aircraft, then I think this one's going to feel at home to you. So there's some interesting things on the inside. So let's go ahead and okay. Let's shift C into the aircraft here. Okay, so full disclosure, we just upgraded to chase plane. So we are still figuring out all the things to figure out around the cameras. So we will do our best as we move through. Give you a good overview of the plane, and hopefully not too many gripes and fumbles on the chase plane front. But having said that, I am going to leave them in the video because I'm going to talk about that briefly as we kind of go through this aircraft too. So if you've seen the advertising around chase plane, it has been updated for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. And if you purchased it for $20, you got it for free. So I have been holding off for a bit to get it installed because it just has such a downstream impact here on the channel. But over the weekend, I have been working on building cameras. So perhaps we'll do a whole video on just that. At any rate, inside the cockpit. This aircraft is easy to get started. I am not going to go through cold and dark today. We're going to use Control+E to get the aircraft started up, but I thought it might be useful to at least take a peek at some of the built-in camera angles. And I am using chase plane. So I do have that installed, but I have gone through and I have created some custom views here. These are really based on what came with the aircraft, but you know, you can go in and tweak to taste, and I think that's one of the things that you'll really like about chase plane. So, okay, so here we go. All right, so the cockpit's very, very well done. You're going to see a lot of attention to detail. Lots of switches work. So, and as of recording of this video, Airplane Heaven has just released an update for the aircraft. So it's available for download. If you purchase it from Airplane Heaven, it's already available to you, and you should have already gotten a message from them to do the download. So there we go. So it's already been updated. Been out for just a few days. All right, so right-hand side of the aircraft here gets us our radios and some other fun things. Again, we're going to do a sort of a quick and dirty look here. We'll come back and do a cold and dark start later. There's too much stuff related to this aircraft to cover in one video. All right, so to the pedestal, to the floorboard between the pilot and the co-pilot. This will be the top gunner, tail gunner, bombardier right over the Norton bomb sight. And then we're back outside. Let's go back to pilot view. Actually put us out into back on the ground. Let's try that again. Okay. As I mentioned, we're still working through getting the kinks worked out of using chase plane. Anyway, cockpit very, very much laid out in similar fashion to other aircraft you may have experienced too. Find some commonalities in terms of where things are on this front panel relating to other World War II aircraft. So we've got our carb temperatures, our oil temperature, our oil pressure, fuel pressure, manifold pressure, RPM, compass, all those fun things right here up front. Magnetos right here in the middle, along with all of the switches that are necessary for getting the aircraft started. So here are your main bank of switches for getting the aircraft started. And then the pedestal, obviously you've got your RPM, your throttle, and then your mixture controls, along with the supercharger, and then also even further down we have the engine cowl flaps. So all that stuff is available to you as well. Center view here. And I'm simply just going to press Control-E to get the aircraft started. All right. I think that puts us in pretty good shape here to continue moving forward. We are going to take off here from Debden. So I haven't tried taking off from Debden here in the B-25. But I am going to get to the end of the runway and put the parking brake on, add some flap, and we'll see how it works out for us. One of the things that I am aware of as far as the B-25 is the takeoff is rather shallow. So what I may do is I may taxi down to the end of the other runway. We'll back taxi, and we'll get to see the aircraft on the ground. So that'll be good too. All right. So I think we're actually ready to roll here. And the terrain here at the end of runway 9 is has not been terraformed flat, so it is going to be a bit bumpy working our way over from this hangar that I added for myself here at Debden. It is not historically accurate, and a lot of the parking locations are accurate and in the right place, and we tried to add some representative vehicles and those kinds of fun things as well. So the aircraft just looks so good. We'll enjoy that as we continue to make our taxi. See some additional ground scatter, and there's some P-51s on the ground here that have been based over a period of time here. There are also some Spits and Hurricanes and some P-47s as well, and we're making our way down to the location of the main hangar. We'll speed the process up here a little bit, get a little bit more engine sound going here. But we've got a little bit of cleanup work we need to do here at Debden with the releases, but you can see, you know, aircraft and buildings and such kind of scattered around and about to give this a certain level of immersion. And a considerable amount of effort has been gone into with the village that is right behind the hangars. So this is a perfect place in Flightsim 2024 to get out and have a walk around in third person. So just invite you to go check that out too. All right, we're almost done with our back taxi here. Lots of vehicles. All right, so let's get turned around here and we'll make our way off of runway 27. Okay. Jump back in here in the cockpit. All right, let's see what we got. Flaps. We'll need some of that. I'm gonna go flaps 20. We'll see what that does for us. All right, let's get on the brakes and run it up. And we see the nose dip. Let's see what we got. So this is tricycle gear, so this should be quite stable going down the runway. All right, airspeed is at 50, 60, 70, 80, and easing her off the ground. positive rate gear coming up. And we're up and off. And again, I am still in the process of configuring chase planes, so we'll have a few anomalies to deal with as we go through. And we'll get it sorted. All right, back to aviating. Button to fly. Let's get rid of the flaps here. Go the right way with our controller. And looks good in the air. So there are lots of different stations located around in the aircraft for you to take a peek at. So camera angles I have created here. This is the top turret. There's the bombardier station with the Norton bomb sight. Just to kind of give you a sampling of that. All right, let's roll back on the RPM here. And we'll make our way back around. Over to Debden. And we'll just enjoy the countryside here for a minute. Let's turn back around here. We're almost down to Chelmsford here, so need to make a 180. flew right across Stansted. If you were curious as to what that larger modern airport was that we flew over. Obviously, we are in the UK, and we'll make our way back over to Debden. All right, here's Stansted. And we're flying right through the middle of their pattern. All right, we'll get ourselves situated here for our approach into Debden. Back on the RPM here. Prop. And there we are, off the nose. Yeah, I think we'll make a low level pass here, just for the heck of it. And when we built this particular airfield, we tried to leave as much of the original terrain terraforming in place, right? So this runway has a crown. We're right over runway 36 here. More aircraft parked on the ground. We'll run out here for about 30 seconds and then we'll turn. We'll do a right downwind, short right downwind leg. Easy for me to say. And we'll land on, I guess it would be 27. Okay, let's drop gear here. Give ourselves some flap too. Probably do a little bit more airspeed, see how floaty the aircraft is getting. Okay. I think we're probably far enough out now. At any rate, I hope you've enjoyed this quick look Aircraft is terrific. Really like it. I think it's pretty doggone close to the best work that's come out of Airplane Heaven, in my opinion. So, maybe a little bit more work on the texturing, I guess, on the externals, but that is so nitpicky, it's not even funny. I have noticed that Chase Plane does a little bit of glitchy behavior here to just general semi kinds of things. But this is also an experimental release, so I guess in a way this may be an experimental video. But back to the aircraft. Would I buy it again? Absolutely. Do I think it's sim-worthy? 1000%. There is definitely fun to be had. Okay. ourselves situated here. I was just sitting here enjoying the countryside. See how she behaves on landing here. If I can get her stopped. Welcome back to RAF Debden. Alright, we'll get the brakes here and get ourselves stopped. And here we are, back to our hangar. Again, I would definitely recommend this as a purchase. It's a much needed addition to the sim, in my opinion. Jump outside the plane again. So there we have it. Quite a few different liveries available and a couple of variations. We didn't even mention the Doolittle raid functionality that's baked into this as well, that's also included. So hence we'll have another look at the B-25 from Airplane Heaven. Sim-worthy? Absolutely. 4 paws up here for from the doghouse. With that, I'm going to leave it here. I do hope that everyone is keeping well. And until next time, as always, cheers, y'all.